Baseball fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook Postgame Show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is a final, the game, the series, and the road trip, and all of those results are just absolutely beautiful. Welcome in, everybody. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen, enjoying this. I mean, that might be the understatement of the world.
Oh.
Enjoying this? Are you kidding? That was men versus boys.
Series of the year.
Series of the year,
Series of the year, for sure.
Better than the Yankee series.
Yeah, or the White Sox to start the year.
Series of the year as the Brewers run their mark to a season high 11 games over 500.
They sweep the Cubs in Wrigley for the first time since 2021.
And they do it with pitching and just men versus boys.
And PCA blowing. That was great too.
Karma gets you, PCA.
Yeah. That was beautiful. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. That's what we were all thinking during this.
Just a beautiful display from Pete Crow Armstrong. By the way, they're 9-hitter. Thank you, Pete. Little Peter. That's what we should call him. Little Peter. Little Peter.
Oh, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Wow.
The Brewers sweep the Cubs. That's got to make you feel good. How do you feel after this sweep? We'll get to you on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line at 414-677-1250. Kyle Harrison.
Oh.
We love this trade from the word trade. When it posted months ago, Durbin and Siegler and Monasterio and some sort of pick. And wait a second, you got David Hamilton. Well, he's, kind of like those other guys, sort of, but faster and can bunt good. Okay, so you win that. Then you go Shane Drowan, and you say, well, that kind of lefty, man, those arms don't grow on trees.
Mm.
And a younger dude, team control. Let's see what Hook and Henderson can do with this kid. Then we get to Kyle Harrison. Oh. Is he for real?
Yeah. Short answer. Yeah.
I love this trade. I would have traded those other, and I said it at the time the trade went down. I would have traded all of what I just said just straight up for Harrison. Think about that. How much I like this dude. They found something here. I mean, I love the poise. I won't even say moxie because really doesn't have that much emotion. That's the kind of dude you want. Just a thinker, a cerebral dude that has really good stuff. That fastball of his, did you see him hit 98 in the 5th inning tonight?
That's all he threw today. He threw his fastball, he threw his slurve, and he threw 2 changeups all day.
That slurve is getting better.
He threw 2 pitches. He threw 2 different pitches, and he was unhittable against the Cubs today.
Is this more of how good the Brewers are or how bad the Cubs are playing?
Man. No, don't do that to the Brewers. Kyle Harrison now.
They look great. They look crisp, and they look good.
Harrison now through 9 starts, 45 2/3, a 1.77 ERA, which is lower than Jacob Misiorowski, by the way. On top of that, throw in 59 strikeouts in that time in the 45 2/3 innings, a whip of just over 107 right now.
Outstanding performance by Kyle Harrison tonight. And the Milwaukee Brewers, they sweep the Chicago Cubs here in mid to late May. And this is a beautiful thing. Now, I will say this, as hard as I am on the Cubs, I do want to, Tommy, you and I address this before we go on. So I can hammer the Cubs after I say this. They're doing a Cubs for a Cure campaign down in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with one of our stations, 104.3 The Score. And Danny Parkins, who, by the way, remember the other night when I was telling you about someone down in Chicago was on the air with me, filling in on this very radio station years ago. And he said, well, the Brewers are the little brother of the Cubs.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Danny Parkins mentioned this week.
Yeah, that was Danny Parkins. So things changed since he said that. So thank you, Danny. But Danny's doing a great job. He does a 24-hour broadcast. I've been there. And Cubs for a Cure is going on with that station, and the Cubs obviously involved. For Danny lost a brother to a tumor, and you and I both have family members that have been challenged by a tumor. My nephew had a brain tumor, and still need research on this. It's a big fundraiser down there in Chicago. They're doing a great thing hooking up with the Cubs, and you have a niece involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, we know that this affects way more than just any single community, right? I mean, this goes so deep. Everyone wants to work towards a cure with cancer and brain tumor and everything that goes into it. So even if we have to say something nice about the Cubs today, Cubs for a Cure, awesome thing that they're doing there.
Yeah, that would be it. So now that that's done, your baseball team sucks right now.
Oh, dude.
And I love it.
I love watching PCA jog, then realize he should have sprinted. And David Hamilton, man, that guy is electric when he is not bunting as much as he is when he is bunting. By the way, in keys to the games today, it was get a hit without bunting for David Hamilton. And he doubled that on me today. He probably should have only had one hit, but
didn't he have 3?
Oh, you're right. He did in the last thing. Yeah, he got one in the 9th too. The Seo one was really weird. And then the PCA one, what is he? He's in his own head. I love it. I am here for it. I am here for the chaos. I am drinking the haterade. I am all in.
And you know why, right? Because you know why the last couple of years that dude at American Family Field was hot dogging it and hitting a bunch of homers.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, it's been a rough 5 days for him, getting caught on video saying what he said.
Yes. And then having this type of series.
Having this series, got fined in between there by the MLB.
Looked silly against Miz the other night.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was a brutal stretch.
He argued tonight about a strike call right down the middle.
Yeah, challenge it then. What are you arguing with umpires anymore when you have challenges?
Oh, little Peter. God bless you, buddy.
Yeah.
Want to get your reaction? You want to squeeze in a call?
We got time. Let's go to the judge. J-Mo in Cudahy, you're first up. Leadoff hitter on today's Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show.
Oh, my Lord.
Goodness.
I know 3 things with absolute certainty after watching this here ball game.
Mm-hmm. What's the verdict?
Number 1, here's what I know. Kyle Harrison is going to be carded until he's 65 years old.
He does look like he's 12. He does, yes. Okay.
Boy has zits on his face. I mean, that's his eye.
Yeah, he's boyish.
Number two. This pitching staff is going to take this team far.
Okay.
Number 3, Timmy Baseball is hard enough to cut through granite tonight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Had to think about that for a second.
All right, J-Mo. Yeah.
Speaking of which, pound that gavel.
Yeah. Okay. Gross.
No, this is exciting. This is good times to be a Brewers fan. This is.
It sure is. Yeah. No. And I'll tell you, this is more about how good the Brewers are than the Cubs playing bad. I will say that.
I agree.
I mean, I brought it up, but I'll answer my own question. They look good. They just look good and together. They looked way more together than their opponents over the weekend, Minnesota Twins, and then here in Chicago.
This started in New York City.
True.
This started in New York. They're hotter than a $3 pistol on Saturday night, brother. Well, as always,
Thank you, sir.
I hear that music. So, peace, love, soul, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Needed that. Needed that.
There's the verdict. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, want to get your reaction here. Brewers over the Cubs again to sweep the series. And we are talking about it 5-zip final tonight. As there's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen. It's the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios.
Fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
And a line drive back up the middle. That'll work. Frelick sent around third. The ball gets away from Pro Armstrong. That'll score Ortiz. Hamilton's on the move. Hamilton being waved. Still being waved. Here's the throw. Save! Oh, David Hamilton with a Little League homer here at Wrigley.
Oh, Pete.
Man. What happened, little Peter?
You said it. You see some weird things when the wind's blowing in here at Wrigley. Oh, it gets so weird at Wrigley, Vinny.
Oh, doesn't it? Wow, welcome back. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz in a 5-zip Brewers victory. That was in the second inning. I was screaming at that time, Little League homer. Go! Keep going! Send them anyway. Don't make the first out at home plate. I don't care. Just go.
Go.
Just go. All right, so they're up 3-zip, and then they tacked on in the third from your boy Bowers.
Ground ball right side, base hit. 4-0 Brewers. 11-game hitting streak, a new career high for Bowers.
15 RBIs now. Man, I am very, very surprised that they threw Jake Bowers this pitch right here on a 2-1 count, something that he can handle.
When are they going to start respecting the man?
11-game hitting streak, on-base streak at 21. You can't take him out of the lineup. Brewers led 4-zip after 3 innings of play. Kyle Harrison setting him up, knocking him down. And he had 11 punch-outs in this one, as one of our callers would say, 11 punchies.
Yeah, it sounded like this.
Swing and a miss.
Ball, but Harrison's
got him. Their second 10-game winning streak. That's strike 3 call.
and the position players are kind of
Do it. Through the 5th. And he's through the 5th. Got him. He blows the K's. Make it 3.
Oh, got him.
Yes.
Just
Beautiful.
babies.
Brewers TV levering on the call there. Then they got a run in that 7th inning. Well, we got to set up how they got the run before scoring. This is what set that thing up.
Hamilton, right field. Back Suzuki. He's still back. Hamilton has a fair ball. It gets away from Suzuki. Hamilton on his way to third, and he is going to be in with a triple. I lost track of Suzuki down there in the corner. Hamilton had a fair ball, and he ends up at third with only one away. Craig Counsell was thinking about challenging something, but to no avail.
I'll tell you what.
have a night,
Tommy,
David Hamilton.
Mauer said he muffed a punt in that corner.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of did, because it allowed, with him there at third, it allowed this to happen.
That one gets by. Here comes Hamilton, and he does it himself.
Now you're going to hear the Boo Birds come out here in Chicago.
I left that little bit in there for you, Tim, too. That was beautiful. For you specifically.
Yeah, 5-zip as Harrison, Hall, and Oates spin a 2-hitter tonight, and the Brewers get the 5-zip win. Hey, by the way,
at least PCA is a rich girl. All right, he just got a contract.
He's got a Sarah smile on him too. Who predicted the sweep over the Cubs? I think we had 2 callers that did that. Let's get to a couple of callers here before we break. Let's go to Brian in Muskego. Brian, what's going on?
McGuanago.
Hey, guys, man, it's McGuanago.
Sorry
That's
about
my second cousin, Muskego.
Okay.
It's a famous day in baseball, July 12th, 2012. You know what that day was?
July 12th, 2012.
12. I don't know.
I was in 6th grade.
That was at Wrigley Field, the last time the Cubs had more errors in the game than hits.
Oh.
Against the Phillies.
Stat Des Bryant on it. Okay. Yeah. All right. They had 3 and 2 today, right?
Yeah, these last 4 Brewer pitchers with Shane Johan, Kyle Harrison, The Miz, and then Chad Patrick reminds me, these last 4 games, of the 95 Braves in the mid-90s. They're starting. These guys have been unbelievable. To just see, they had the Cubs off stride when they're looking for an off-speed pitch. They're swinging at fastball swings and vice versa. And it just looks like they were totally confused. They look dumbfounded up there at the plate.
They look lost. And is that a credit to the Brewers pitching staff? Yes. I'm going to start there. But they also look lost. This whole series looked man versus boy, did it not? It just didn't look like it was even that close at all.
When you look at Counsell, he looked like he hadn't recovered from a night of drinking. He also looks confused.
Sorry, Craig. All right, I got to scoot real quick. Brian, thank you for the call. Our historian, Ken, with his wife, Mia. What's going on, Ken? You're coming out of Wrigley Field right now?
Yeah, we are walking through Wrigleyville right now, so if it gets a little loud, we apologize. I do have a Wrigley report. The vibes were good for Brewer fans, that is. Harrison was outstanding. And I will say, I know you guys have been talking about the troughs. I did use the troughs twice, and there's something as a historian you truly appreciate about using a trough. There are a few things that transport you back in time, like using that piece of bathroom equipment. But the other thing I want to say, I called last year, and whenever PCA would make a mistake, we would start chanting PCA really loud to the chagrin of Cubs fans. Oh, I would have that going so loud when that ball got by him. And then there was a Cubs fan joking about spilling his beer on us on purpose. Turned out he played ball with Chad Patrick growing up. They were from Indiana and were Cub fans, and so they knew Chad Patrick, and they ended up being pretty nice people after the initial hostilities. But gotta love this sweep tonight, guys.
Gotta love it.
Absolutely, man. Have a great time down there. We'll scoot. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Luis at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. How about this one? Was it you that predicted the sweep? I'm not sure.
I'm not that ballsy, Tim. I wish I had those cojones on me, but I don't. I was hoping. I went into this thinking like, all right, Sprode on Monday. If you lose that's fine. You got your two aces going Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's just win 2 or 3. But it's like, I guess the only thing that really can be said to the Cubs and councils, who's your daddy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You said 2 aces there. You feel confident saying that? You have the cojones to say that?
100%. I'm like, Kyle Harrison was a top 10 prospect, and all he needed to do was just come somewhere where they could fix him. Like, the kid had all the talent in the world, and like, at some point, and I don't know when it is, and maybe people have been saying it, but like, when do we talk about Matt Arnold being the best president or GM in baseball?
Yeah, I mean,
executive of the year.
Yeah, twice, 2 years running. 2 years in a row now.
If you look at guys like David Hamilton, who like, yeah, he's a throw-in to replace a guy like Monasterio, but like games like today, like this is, Kyle Harrison. I'm like, and I know this is really early. It's May, but if you're going into a playoff series with Miz and Kyle Harrison as your 1 and 2, that's about as good as we've had since the days of Woody and Burns out there.
Great point. It's a great point. I tell you, I got a text here toward the end of the game. It was in the 9th inning. It said the most satisfying series of the year, and that was from our buddy Bill Schmidt. He's just completely satisfied on this one. I mean, how can you not be at least that? This is just like a dagger. This is like a Wayne Larrabee call. This is a dagger to that Cub team. They're reeling, and I love it.
And they had, at the end of the broadcast, they said that the Cubs had come off 15 straight wins at home. And then I'm like, the Brewers just shut them down. And even like Murph, I think he used maybe 6 pitchers in a 3-game series.
And now you're hanging around, Luis, that 10-game over mark. And I've said for years, that's where you want to hang out because you get a little cold. Okay, 8 over, 7 over. You get hot, you bounce up to 15, 16. You make your move in late July into August, and you start working on 20 games over, which then gets you into the 90s. 20 over is 92. 92 or 92 and 70 would make it 22 over. So you want to hang out right around here just as you kind of fix things a little bit. Brewers completely fixed in this series, but man, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing doing the Cubs like this.
Luis, what's coming up over at Potawatomi?
Everything, man. We got Sportsbook is gonna be busy. I'm like, it's popping with these Brewer games. We got the World Cup starting up soon. Come on down for that. Honestly, just come down and have fun. Like take shuttles this weekend. The Dodgers are in town, so if you're going to the game, hop on a shuttle. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Memorial Day, Monday. We're open 24/7. So come enjoy the long holiday weekend at Potawatomi. It's gonna be a blast.
All you got to do is place a $5 same day wager. You get on that shuttle, right, Luis?
Or a $5 same day wager, or one of those highlights that Timmy Baseball likes.
Do you, Luis? Do you know any other shuttle service that offers to pay you potentially to take it?
Not that I can think of.
You guys should run with it. You guys should run with that. I've been doing that on the leadoff show for you guys each and every time.
Bowers over, whatever it is.
Bowers to get a hit, place $5 on it. You get paid to ride the shuttle.
Yeah.
And at this point, place that Bowers as an all-star bet, future too.
Well, here we go.
Man, it's not a 0%. It's not.
It's definitely not 0%.
You teased it in your pregame today.
Yeah.
It's like the more you think about it, it's like, why doesn't he deserve it?
Why not? Why not, Jake? Oh God, I will be insufferable if Jake Bowers
making a case too.
Oh, he should be in today, right now. There's no case with that. Tim, I've been trying to pop this question off. And we should do it on post game here.
To your girlfriend?
Okay,
yes, he's going to pop the question to his girlfriend.
Relax.
You heard it, Luis.
Tim, relax.
I hear we're going to be groomsmen too.
Holy. I almost just had a dump button myself right there.
And Sparky will be the best man.
Dude, Spark is not he will not let anyone else do it. So that's exactly.
He'd be efficient. In a perfect world, he'd be efficient.
The glitch best man would go crazy, and Tim knows that one. Yes. But over under 3.5 All-Stars for the Brewers.
Ooh, yeah.
Over under 3.5 All-Stars.
Miz, Harrison, Bryce. Those are slam dunks, right?
Contreras, I would think,
at this point, I'm saying.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay. I'm just saying come July, 3.5. That's my line I'm going with. Over under.
What about Ashby if he's still leading the majors and wins?
If he has 13 wins by that time, sure seems like he'd have a case, right, Luis?
Tough to get him in a reliever into the All-Star game.
It is tough.
It's very difficult. Yeah. But wow. Luis, thanks for checking in, man. Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
All right, see you later. The shuttles are to and from each game. You make that $5 same-day wager or buy yourself a High Life or a cocktail.
Yeah, you can get food or drink. It doesn't even matter if you don't want to go in. And plus, it's like I said, Tim, there's no other shuttle service that's giving you an opportunity to make money to take it.
To get paid to take that shuttle.
Yeah.
That's $5. I mean, people think a sports book is all about big money. Guys, it's not.
No.
It's, $5 is the minimum wager. You can bet a $5 Freelick over total bases if you want, which I suggest you go with Bowers at this point. Bryce would be good. Strikeouts for any number of these starting pitchers. We are talking about a Cubs team that just got swept by the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Brewers at 29-18 after winning 10 of their last 12, 16 of their last 21. They are rolling, and we're discussing it. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz celebrating tonight. I swear there were a couple of callers the last few days or maybe over the weekend during the Twin shows that somebody had predicted a sweep over the Cubs. I think there were two of our Brewer fan listeners, our post gamers. All right, the Nicolay Law talking text line does have a text portion of that.
Yeah.
We need to get to some more text here, 414-677-1250.
I told Tim, I need to get some texts in. Muzzy, Get the brooms out, folks, and fly that L, Chicago, between Ray, Milner, and Council. I think the dump to our south should be renamed Recycling during this stretch.
There you go, Brewer Recycling Plant, known as Wrigley Field.
From the Jeff in Woodfield, Brewers pitching staff took control of this series. This is a dangerous team right now. Get out the ex-wife broom, Timmy.
Well, yeah, she borrowed it to us, and now I got to give it back. It's the off day tomorrow.
Scotty Tiffany, my favorite player for the Brewers this series was PCA.
I don't forget what that dude was doing at American Family Field. Hot dogging it and coming up with big homers and big hits. That's why it's that much sweeter. You know, normally I do have a heart. I don't have just a blackened soul here just to hate everything about the Cubs. But, you know, in that case, man, payback is you know what.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool to see that.
From the 9-2-0, this is how you win with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. The Brewers lead the league with a .279 batting average and .871 OPS. The Cubs are 25th with a .204 batting average and a .649 OPS. The Cubs have left 391 runners on base this season, and the next closest is the Pirates with 359. Couldn't have happened to a nicer group of guys. Let's go back out to the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Kenny, crack the beer.
Or the bourbon.
Well, we are going to have the first of many this season. We got a triple cracker coming up here. One for
cracker.
each win.
Okay, yeah.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. What you got, Ken?
You're in better shape tonight than you were the other night.
Hey, easy. Settle down now. Now, the reality is simply this. What Luis said are things that I've been saying, starting with, case in point, Matt Arnold. What this guy has done for this team, how he picks and chooses and this, the way they go about finding diamonds in the rough is just incredible. This pitching staff and what they're doing. This is a high price payroll Cubs team. And what did the Brewers do? They held them to 5 runs. They shut them out tonight.
19-5 is the run differential.
They had the Cubs fans booing.
That was nice to hear.
I know. It was absolutely outstanding. And when you talk about a team that right now, when you get your guys back, they are poised. But that all starts with Murph. The level of confidence, I said this on Monday. I said, you see this team the way they came in? They're confident. They're cool. The pressure's on the Cubs. It's not on the Brewers. And the Brewers came in, and Murph's got his guys ready to play. And what do? They absolutely – I can't swear.
Well,
but
no, please don't. Speaking of high price, they held Bregman in the series to one single. One little flare single.
But it's a pitching. It's what the pitching did, but it's what the offense did to help the pitching, and that's really the key. And so when you see the way that Murph brings the whole deal together, and he's sitting up there and he's got that crap-eating smirk on his face. It's outstanding when you see him.
Knows. And this is why this is why it's puzzling. They overlook this team. Now again, we're in late May here. I think it's fair. This is why it's puzzling to me that every single year these so-called analysts, and a lot of them are pretty good at what they do, but they predicted 81.5, 82.5, 84 wins.
I didn't predict that.
I mean, again though, that the foundation is still there of this team.
You know what was classy? I watched Marquee tonight just simply to watch hear Boog and Deshaies. I listened to the game of the other night with Hughes and with Coomer, and I'm going to tell you nothing but monstrous high praises for this organization and how they operate and what they're doing and the way they're doing it.
Yep.
So they're a class act down there from that standpoint.
Well, they got to know. I mean, at some point, thank you, Kenny. No doubt. At some point, they can't deny it. You get into the point where you can't deny it that these guys are good. We'll take a break. Come back, an hour to go. Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Yeah, welcome back. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen. 5-zip Brewers win. 5-zip. 5, the number of runs that the Cubs scored in the series.
Ooh.
19 for the Brewers. So the Brewers now have the third best record in the NL.
Second.
I base that off wins.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So 34 for the Braves, 30 for the Dodgers, and then here 29 for the Brewers. Hold on, I got something to do, Tommy.
Oh no, what are you gonna do?
I just been putting this off too long. I got some work I gotta do.
Oh God,
I gotta sweep up here a little bit.
Oh, look at him go!
I gotta just sweep up.
Yeah.
Take that, Chicago!
Oh, come
Here's
on!
your broom. Here's your broom. Now give it back to my ex-wife so she can fly around.
Oh man, Tim. Jeez, for a guy who hates the video,
it's a certain time.
You kind of like it. You kind of do. You hate it is strong. You hate PCA when he plays the Brewers. You don't hate the video.
Yeah. The player, not the person.
No, you can hate the player. I despise the person, so I'll go off of that.
Okay.
I do not despise our Nicolay Law talking text line. And our next
you guys
caller,
on hold, sit there. We'll get to you, and let's get to one now.
We got to one. Big Ron, he's out in New Jersey. What's going on, Big Ron?
Hey, Tommy and Tim. You almost hit your parlay today, Tommy. I got a chance to listen. It just needed the over.
Needed the over today. Yeah. They had chances too late in that one. They had chances.
Yeah, and you said on the pregame show that the Brewers might just hit the over themselves.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
How many runners did they leave on base in this series? It could have been worse of a massacre.
It really could have. And I mean, Kyle Harrison's number at 4.5 was pretty disrespectful, Big Ron.
Oh, very disrespectful. I just said into the text line, I hammered his first 5 Cubs under 1.5. I've done that two days in a row. I did it with Miz yesterday, and I did it today. And I think I'm going to continue to hammer the first 5 under whenever Miz and Harrison pitch.
Mm-hmm.
It'll always be under 1.5. I just don't see them giving up more than 1 run in the first 5 innings.
Yeah,
those guys are just unstoppable. And I don't know about your sponsor Potawatomi because I'm not in Wisconsin. I don't use those. But one of the national books, who'll go nameless, has Kyle Harrison listed for the Cy Young at plus 10,000. So you bet 100, you win 10,000. You bet $10, you win 1,000.
We're throwing a little money on it, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
there's decent value.
Right? I mean, who doesn't have $10 to win $1,000, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's at 1.77 has the lowest ERA in the National League. And just to show you how mispriced that line is, Freddie Peralta with his 3.3 ERA and 1.25 WHIP is plus 8,000. So he's got shorter odds than Kyle. But you know what? You guys were talking about PCA coming in before you taking my call, and Tommy said he didn't really like him as a person, and he had some choice words for a White Sox fan who was there for her engagement party. And I just want to get her wedding registry so I can send her a gift for just getting him totally unhinged and breaking him mentally.
Yes,
we should buy her a gift in 2 days. And I think he only had 1 hit in the entire series.
Yeah, that's great. You know what? If anyone knows her, you tell her to call 414-677-1250. We will have her on the show. We will have her on the show.
For rattling the cage of little Peter.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, and, I did not predict this Brewers sweeping the Cubs, but they swept the Yankees, they've swept the Cubs, and I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say they're going to sweep the Dodgers like they did last year in this upcoming series. So
okay, all right, fair enough. All right, Big Ron, thanks for the numbers. There's our
all right, guys, take care.
One of our wagering experts. There's Big Ron. Let's get to Pewaukee and say hello to Mike. Mike, welcome to the show. Brewers sweep the Cubs.
Hey, Tim. Long time no talk since last season for me. You tried to hide, but I found you again, just like everybody else.
Yeah,
Looks like you
welcome back.
made the round. You're making the rounds. I'm so glad though that they got you back. I was anyways, the Brewers, obviously they're just so fun to watch. They really are. I mean, home runs, enough home runs to keep it interesting, but slapping the ball around and just getting base hits, stealing bases, and and what's just so precious to me. I watched all 3 games, like everybody else. The best that the Cubs fans can chant right now is about Green Bay. I mean, it just goes to show. It just goes to show their level of immaturity. I mean, they're getting smacked around by the smallest market in all of baseball, just like the Bears for the last 30 years have been getting smacked around by the smallest market in football, in all of sports probably. But it's just so funny and so precious, and I love seeing it and I love hearing it. And along with everybody else, that Pete Crow Armstrong, he's just a pleasure to watch when he has his little meltdowns in the dugout after he strikes out, or watches one, whiffed by him from Mizorowski at 101.
Well, a decent manager would sit him down for a few games to cool his jets. Wouldn't a good manager do that?
He did that to Kyle Tucker last year. You remember?
Yep.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. So I'm more than a casual fan. Over the last few years, been a casual fan. I've watched a lot of games so far this year. And as impressive as the Brewers pitching staff is and has been for a solid 3 years, and going back even more than that. But my thing is, we all want to see the Brewers go to World Series and win one. And, they're piggybacking off of last year. I have to tell you, when Peralta left, because I am casual in that I don't know how good the Brewers pitching staff was going to be without him, but they haven't missed a beat. Nope. And the incredible thing is, there are so many incredible things. The pitching coaches are incredible. Everybody's bringing up Matt Arnold. Absolutely. This whole organization, what I'm trying to say is, it's early, but we're only a week and a half away from June. It's not too early. And I really feel, Tim, and you tell me what you and Tom think about this. It's not too early. I believe with all my heart, if the Brewers go out and get 2 bats, 2 guys that combined can maybe go for, from whenever they get them to the point, that the Brewers hopefully are in a World Series, that can generate some runs. Because when you run into the buzzsaw that was the Dodgers last year, you saw, as special as the Brewers were, they just can't compete because their pitching was probably equal, but they didn't shine. And the hitting just went away because the Dodgers are so good. So I'm just saying.
You might be right. And this may be the year, though, Mike, when you think about it, he may sort of revamp the left side of the infield to some capacity. Matt Arnold may, which I would predict that he will definitely get a reliever. He'll get an arm.
Okay. Yeah. But Tim, to me, the thing that has been most lacking over this last few years that has kept us from advancing is the bats just go stone cold in one or more of the series. And they eke by the Cubs, but, and again, I'm not going to say don't go out and get more pitching, but it's pretty evident that when push comes to shove, that the Brewers have come up short in the hitting, and especially in the power rankings in the playoffs. And, that's been our Achilles. And I've been a critic. I was a critic early of Mark Attanasio. And it was unjustified, but I'm a passionate fan. Whatever team I follow, I want to see that team do everything they can to, the Brewers are on the precipice of possibly going to a World Series.
They could be. They could be. Mike. Hey, Mike. Thanks for looking around and finding us again. It's great talking to you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me come on.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, Mike. Any time. Reached a milestone here. I think we have reached the point where we're confident enough to talk about trade deadline deals. And the next step would be talking about playoff rotation.
I already have a playoff rotation in my mind. I already have it. I already do.
I bet you do.
It's the same as everyone else's, but I have one in my mind. Yeah, I have thought of that much before. And to Mike's point, I do think that it's a little early to look at trades, but maybe it is inevitable either way, so why not think about it now, right? I just went through a situation where it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna move in with the girlfriend. It's inevitable. I'm waiting it out.
It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna
slide the chips
just
in.
do it right now. Why not just do it right now? So I did it right now, and so now you're probably not married to Joey Ortiz or Luis Rengifo or David Hamilton, and why wait to have the conversations if you know you're not going to be engaged by July 13th or whatever it is?
All the talk last year at about this time about what player at third base. All the way around. It was on this show. It was all over the place. Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah.
Remember all that talk? And then weeks went by. You got so close that they were just priced out of it. And not because they couldn't afford the prospect capital, but it's because they just didn't want to give it. The price was driven up.
Yeah.
If you do it early, then maybe you have a little something without giving up on some players that you have right now. Look at the night Hamilton had. Now, do I think he's a starter on a World Series team? Probably not. But do I think he's a utility man on a World Series team? Yeah, him and Lockridge. I feel pretty good about the depth with those two players.
Yeah, I agree. Let's keep going down the phone lines. 414-677-1250 if you want to be a part of the show. We got Trell on the north side of Milwaukee. What's up, Trell?
Hey, how y'all going? How y'all doing?
What's up, Trell?
What an excellent call, that last call. I got to give it to him. What was his name again?
That was Mike.
Man, he was so spot on. I've been saying that for a while, but I called tonight because, man, Matt Arnold must have an inside guy in the Boston Red Sox farm system because we got Feaster from them the other year, didn't we?
Yeah,
that's right.
He was really good through the regular season last year. Now, I think my question is for you guys is that Harrison has been looking absolutely awesome, but do you think he's a different tail of the coin than Feaster? Because I thought that Feaster was really good, and he was in the regular season. But when we got to the postseason, Murphy didn't have much confidence in him.
Yeah,
so,
that's a great question. I hadn't even thought of that. Which is the bigger ceiling, Harrison or Priester?
Oh, it's not even close for me.
Hold before you. I know that we're living in the moment with Harrison here.
Yep.
But let's rewind that clock back to about July of last year.
Sure.
Early August of last year, where we were saying, holy crap, to Trell's point, look what Matt Arnold got out of Boston. His name is Quinn Priester, and the Brewers rattled off 19 straight appearances with 19 wins with him on the bump.
So I will say this, Trell, to your point, I do think Pat Murphy screwed with Quinn Priester at the end of the year. I think he screwed him by not giving him game 2 at home and going with Aaron Ashby and trying to wait and be cute and let him go pitch in Wrigley. That was, I think he screwed him. It was a guy who didn't have any playoff experience. Let him pitch in front of the home crowd. You go in front of that ruckus environment that is Wrigley Field. Totally screwed him.
That was the big debate at that time.
However, Kyle Harrison just owned the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field today in a game in which they were trying to avoid being swept during that case. And his poise has been there all season. He is a strikeout guy more than Quinn Priester is of an out-getter. Quinn Priester, while he had the hype and he was a first-round pick and a top prospect as well, that kind of flamed out. Kyle Harrison never was bad before he came to Milwaukee. It just nothing really clicked all the way. It was they were trying to teach him this cutter that wasn't working, and they were trying to teach him this curveball that wasn't working. The fastball and the slider were always great, and the Brewers were like, hey, why don't you just throw those two pitches if they're good? The Brewers really just let Kyle Harrison be Kyle Harrison, where I do think the Brewers had to make Quinn Priester.
Absolutely. Shout out to Chris Hook.
Shout out to Chris Hook. Yeah.
Yep.
Great call.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Trell. Yeah, that is an interesting question.
It's
not as easy as you think, though. I mean, pitching can be fickle a little bit. The league can adjust to you a little bit.
Sure.
And I think, though, that if I'm not mistaken, there was a regular season game in which Priester pitched at Wrigley Field, and there may have been a slight injury there or a little, maybe a forearm or something like that last year. Now, he worked his way through it, but I think that was sort of the descending nature of Quinn Priester's season last year.
But I will say this, Tim. Kyle Harrison's role with this team is clearly defined differently than Quinn Priester's role was last year. Quinn Priester, while he was absolutely a starting pitcher, also came out of the bullpen in opener games type situation, was much more fluid. He was a guy that was getting ground balls. He was someone who was just there to make sure outs were recorded when guys were at the plate. Now Kyle Harrison is a starter. He's not going to be having no opener in front of him. He's someone from the left side who they needed in the lineup, or in the rotation rather, because they don't have a lefty starting pitcher. Well, they have Gasser now, but that doesn't really count, a part of the rotation. This is a guy who they know can strike out the dude in front of him every single time he's at the plate. And he's done it against top competition now during this stretch too.
But where would Priester be in this makeup here, this genetic makeup of the rotation?
If the genetic makeup of the... No. Oh, gosh. Miz and Harrison for sure ahead of him.
I mean,
for sure.
Excluding Woody. I mean, let's leave Woody out.
Okay, for leaving Woody out, you'd rather have Priester pitch a game than Henderson for you right now, win tonight?
Again, we're living in the moment, in the minute here. We got to let this play out a little bit. Priester's good.
Priester's good. It's deep. It's not that Priester sucks compared to a guy. I'm just saying I think other guys are better.
Does it seem like Harrison and Henderson have just a tick more, it's hard to measure, but a tick more poise? I mean, Priester's pretty confident kid. He is. But they seem more in control.
If you wanted to put Priester over Henderson, I can understand an argument.
That might be a battle.
I can absolutely. I am not. There's no stretch of Quinn Priester as far as on the mound. Maybe results. Brewers winning games. Did they win 20 or was it 19?
19.
So they won 19 games in a row with him. You can't deny that. The boys got up for him every time he was on the bump. That is undeniable. And we won't see a stretch like that out of Jacob Mizorowski this year, Tim. No. We will not see that. If you're telling me you got to pick a pitcher.
Oh, I'm going Harrison.
There's
no doubt I am. I would have done that deal, as I said, the whole lot of those utility infielders, Durbin, Siegler, and Monasterio. I would have traded all three of them for Harrison straight up.
Yeah. Let's get one more caller in here before we go to a break. Bodie's out in Waukesha. What's up, Bodie?
What is up, guys? How are we doing tonight?
More important, how you are.
We're doing better now. The fact that PCA said that in the beginning of the week and on the weekend, and the series that he's had with, I'm pretty sure the last 3 games having a costly error in these games just goes to show you that if you're gonna go up and talk to this woman that is antagonizing you, then be unprofessional about it. At least have something to go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Now, to be fair, he did apologize. Just to be fair,
for his choice of words, not for his actions.
That's interesting. I apologize for my choice of words.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. No, it was dirtbag behavior, and he's upset he got caught on camera with dirtbag behavior.
Yeah. And the fact that we fleeced the White Sox for Kyle Harrison and him, because we got to remember that I looked in the beginning of the week and said that Caleb Durbin had one of the worst OPSs in the league.
Yeah.
He's not doing well.
I feel like we did win this trade. It felt like a loss in the beginning because I'm like, okay, but now that we're deep into the season, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to like this a little bit more. The more that I get to see these guys pitch.
Chase, you got it,
Bodie,
man. I'm sorry, Bodie. You are right on it, Bodie. Right on it. Couldn't have said it better myself. They fleeced the Red Sox in that trade. All right, Bodie. Thanks for checking in. All right.
Thanks, Bodie. I just want to call. I just want to go to this text real quick because at 9:38 a.m. this text came through. So what was that? John Kuhn's show, right?
Yes.
I am on the record on Tim Allen's show before the season saying the Brewers win 99 plus because of their pitching. They'll add some more offense as needed. That was at 9:38 this morning. Okay.
99.
Then at 10:19, the same number. Guys, calm down. We just swept a so-so Cubs team. However, we have 100 plus games left to go. Relax.
This is to for your prediction to come to fruition. This is what you do to bad teams.
That's what I mean.
This is what you have to do to bad teams to get to 100.
Yeah, we have the numbers saved. You can't be sending 2 different texts the same day. Good thing you didn't put your name.
I love it.
Oh, gosh.
I love it.
I'm not. There is no overreaction. Tim Allen taught me that one.
It's just a reaction. That's all.
There's no overreacting, only reacting.
That's why we took this broom and we waltzed in and just matriculated over to Wrigley and just swept the Cubs. And we get on a bus and just travel north. You get to sleep in your own bed, Brewers. Probably on the bus right now, probably right around the Brat stop down in Kenosha.
Yeah, they take a bus, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think from Chicago they do.
No way. No shot.
No?
No way.
I think they do.
Do you think Christian Yelich's back is on fire if they're taking a bus?
It'd be quicker to get on a bus and get out of there than it would be to get to O'Hare and get on a flight.
Maybe, but they probably got all their cars at the airport. They can just leave right from the airport or something. Like, nah, I'm not. I don't. All right.
Bus or flight?
We'll text Levering. Levering will be the judge. He'll know.
All right. Deal. Yeah. You know what? I'll drop Lane a text.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. We'll take a break. Come back here from Pat Murphy as the Brewers sweep the Cubs. And part of it was this Game 3, 5-zip victory as Kyle Harrison was spectacular tonight. 7 shutout innings. 11 strikeouts for the Brewers left-hander. We'll talk more after the break and hear from the Brewers manager. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen, Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios.
The game is over, and it's time to hear from the skipper on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Fantastic. He was great. He's getting better and better, and this was a great testament to how hard he's worked and how hard our pitching coaches have worked with him. I mean, he looked fantastic.
He threw 64 fastballs tonight, 8 strikeouts, a lot of swing and miss, obviously. What did you see with, like, the difference of how he was able to execute that?
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting this good. I mean, he's been throwing the ball like this, but he found his breaking ball in the second inning and started locating that below the zone. And the heater's got that upshoot to it that makes it so tough on hitters.
What is it like when I was going to ask you, the guys that work the replay for you normally don't get a lot of attention, but those two
because you don't give them enough attention.
I'm trying to right now.
Well,
those 2 challenges were obviously really big early in the game.
Huge.
Did you?
I mean, even when they're wrong, they're right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're it's so close or so much, and they don't take unnecessary chances. They get it right. And Augie Sandry he's special. Abdel and him have killed it.
Since for Kyle, when he can stack starts like this, where he has a shutout last time, a shutout this time, what does that do when you can stack?
Yeah, I mean, he's just coming into his own. He's bobbed and weaved for a couple of years, 2 different organizations, trying to figure out, how to get it done and how to be consistent. And he's found a home.
Talked about it pregame, but Bowers came through again, and now he's got a career best 11 game hit streak. Can you just talk about how big of a hit that was?
That was a big hit in the game. All those two out, 2 strike hits type of thing, those are huge. But we had a lot of. Hamilton was the story of our offense today. 3-line drive or 2-line drives and a ball that was into the wind, almost went out of the yard in the corner. He had 4 quality at bats, and Ortiz had a big game. Those guys don't get enough credit. Those 2 guys at the bottom were great, and of course, the pitching and the job William did behind the plate.
Mark Hamilton's first at bat, the inside the park home run. What
they didn't credit it as that, did they?
I mean, no, but the
I didn't see. Did he just whiff it, or I don't know?
But when you see it go past PCA, I mean, is that where Hamilton's speed is just the right guy?
I mean, I said he's going to score. The minute I got by him, I said he's going to score. And he's got exceptional speed. I'm just happy the way he hit the ball tonight.
Is that just like a Hamilton day where both of his runs kind of come off of his speed like that, obviously the triple, and then
I mean,
the minute he saw was
that's what you have to hit the ball with the right flight plan. If you're that kind of speed, you have to have the right flight plan, and he had it tonight.
Mark, even though it's only the 3rd week in May, what kind of lift is it taking all 3 right here?
I think it gives us a little confidence. We have a very young club, as you know. Guys that are in their 2nd, maybe their 3rd year. We don't have too many others than that, but I think it gives you a little confidence. But Friday will be here soon enough, and we have the Dodgers in town. So, but I'm happy for the guys. I've said it all year. I trust these guys. They have high expectations of themselves, and we have high standards. So hopefully a weekend like this gives them some confidence.
Going with Perkins over Mitchell in the field in the 5th inning, was that just purely?
It was, Mitch had a little back tightness. Yeah.
Who gave the crew some breathing room? What play was it? It's time for the insurance run of the game. Brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. On the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Yeah, please no Garrett Mitchell injury. Garrett, don't do it to us. Just get you back, getting you in the fold here. And we're seeing what type of player you are. And I think there's still a bunch of ceiling left for him. Just no more injuries. Just cross your fingers on that. Little tight back, but we'll see what happens. More on that as we get into Friday. G2 Insurance run of the game, brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. So you just heard Pat Murphy there talk about David Hamilton, and it was his offensive night. And so I would imagine when you get a 3-run Little League home run, that's probably the insurance runs of the game you need.
And a line drive back up the middle. That'll work. Frelick sent around third, and the ball gets away from Armstrong. That'll score. Ortiz. Hamilton's
run,
on the
Peter,
move.
run,
Hamilton
get it, Peter. No. Save. Oh, Peter.
David Hamilton with a Little League homer here.
Oh, no, Pete.
I'll tell you what, Jeff. You said it. You see some weird things when the wind's blowing in here at Wrigley.
It's so weird. Pete Crow Armstrong's hair wasn't blue. Oh, God, it's so weird. The wind. Dang.
Wow.
Running.
What happened, little Peter? I mean, were you out there at the Little League game looking at the clouds or petting a cat because you weren't getting action?
He did give you a bouquet of dandelions that he picked out in the outfield. Man, who do you think Pete Crow Armstrong ever? He definitely gave his parents dandelions when he was in the outfield playing t-ball for sure, based on his defense.
Actress.
Yeah, she was in a league of their own or Little Big League or
Little
something.
Big League.
Yeah. One of those.
She was the kid's mom.
Yeah. Well,
that's kind of neat. That's kind of a neat story, I think.
Yeah. Well, it explains why he's such a what. So running a business, it's kind of like running the bases, like David Hamilton, or a championship run. And one bad hit can take you out of the game. G2 Insurance Services specializes in keeping your business and reputation protected. They offer tailored solutions for restaurants, professional liability, and workers' comp. They represent the top carriers like Erie to find the best combination of coverage and price. Get the defensive line your business deserves. G2 Insurance Services in Brookfield, online at g2ins.com. Your friend in insurance. Tim, we have a couple minutes before we should hit a break and hit a rewind. And Dave in Cudahy called in, but he said he was feeling a little bit like Kenny on a Tuesday night, so he didn't want to. Go over the air.
Police yourself.
But he did wonder why Chris Hook doesn't have a manager job.
Well, when you think about it, think about all good pitching coaches historically over the years. A Mike Maddox, Dave Duncan. Dave Duncan would be the one I'd point to.
Mm-hmm.
He was with La Russa for a million years. I think they might have been drinking buddies. Who knows?
Yeah.
But now that he brings that up, it doesn't appear that historically in numbers that pitching coaches ever really elevate to managers. Doesn't it seem like there's a lot of catchers? They went through a catcher's managerial role back, I want to say, anywhere between 1990 and 2010. I mean, there was a ton of former catchers that ended up being managers. Stephen Vogt, current manager of the Guards now.
Sure, Yadi Molina was Team Puerto Rico's manager in the WBC, right?
Ned Yost.
Yeah, another one.
So that's a great part. I'd never really thought about it that way. Yeah, I have to look into that.
Well, and he added in, like, there is a not 0% chance that Kyle Harrison is the best pitcher on this team right now.
Not 0%.
Not 0%. And the work that he obviously got put in through Chris Hook to display that was just an interesting take. And I guess I was thinking about it the same way, where I just don't know about that pitching coach to manager transition very much. And maybe it's not very common.
So I texted Lane Grindle.
Oh, was he on the bus or the plane when you got the text?
Well, I asked him, I said, hey, Lane, great calls, great series. A topic came up on the show right now. Quick question for you. When the Brewers play at Wrigley, do they bus back to Milwaukee, or do they head to O'Hare and fly into Mitchell? It's exactly what I wrote.
Okay.
He answered one question or one word, and it was 3 letters.
Oh,
bus.
Wow. That surprises me still. I guess I'm thinking about it from football, and it's like a Green Bay is not a Milwaukee, obviously. So maybe that makes more sense. But that's interesting, and that's awesome, actually. I love to hear that because
I mean, when you think about it, though, Tommy, to get out of Wrigley and to get everything loaded in, you're already loaded in and onto the buses. You know, not only the players and the infrastructure staff, but, you know, also all the gear and everything is loaded in there. And you got to transfer all that once you get to O'Hare, get to the charter plane, load on, make sure you go through all the protocol. Everyone knows what it's like to fly. I mean, it's easier on a charter for sure. And then you got to wait your turn at O'Hare and then get up in the air for what? To be a 30-minute flight, if that. Then to land, unload, and all that stuff. We've all driven to Wrigley from Milwaukee. Most of us have, and it's not the easiest thing, but it's not very very difficult. But yeah, it does seem barbaric though when you think about the sort of travel that these guys have and the sort of hotel rooms they stay in and the suites they get on their contracts. And what kind of room would you get, Tommy, signing a big league deal?
What kind of room would I get?
What kind of hotel room?
Oh, the biggest. There would be if I had Ohtani's contract, I would spend it all. I don't know if I could, but I would try. I would sure try. I don't know if I could blow $70 million a year, but I would be eating steak every day.
There's a baseball movie with Richard Pryor that he was a pitcher, and he had to spend a certain amount of money in a certain amount of days without giving the money away. You had to actually spend it.
Sure.
You had to buy things in order to inherit whatever it was, 30 million or whatever at the time. This, I think, a 70s movie. But the point of the story was it's very difficult to spend that much money. But we'd sure give it a try, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could get close on hotel rooms. Yeah. I would be staying in hotels in Vegas and then flying every morning to Chicago. If I had Ohtani's contract.
Get the penthouse suite at the Wynn.
Like, I'll meet you guys tomorrow. Yep. I'll be back. And then I'll be here in the morning. But I'm going to go party it up over there and then make my way back.
So I'd like to rewind to another Cub victory for the Brewers. So
Cub victory?
No, a Brewer victory over the Cubs.
Got it.
We'll unpack that on the other side here as the Brewers sweep the Cubs. Just a beautiful moment in the 2026 championship season. They outscore them 19-5. They shut them out tonight in Game 3, 5-zip on the arm of Kyle Harrison, who punches out 11 Cub hitters, and the screws came loose in Chicago. They had more errors than hits in this ball game. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz talking a Brewers sweep over the Cubs. Final couple of minutes here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Oh, how sweep it is. Brewers sweep the Cubs.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The Brewers now, obviously first place in the National League Central, have won 11 of their last 13 games. And on this road trip, 5-1. The prior homestand, 5-1. And just vaulted into first place here. Okay, let's hit the rewind button into the time warp. We go back to the last time the Brewers swept the Cubs.
In Wrigley, by the way. That's the caveat here, because it's just the 5th time in franchise history they have swept the Cubs at Wrigley. 2021, and how perfect it was. The Brewers, by the way, at this point, Tim, were 69-46. On August 11th of 2021, they were on an absolute tear, and they beat the Cubs 10-0 after putting up 7 in the first inning against Chicago. I almost feel like I vaguely remember this game.
I think so.
Colton Wong was leading off for the Crew. Christian Yelich was batting second. Willie Adames, the shortstop. Eddie Escobar was cleaning up and playing third base.
Yeah.
That was, it felt like he didn't have a lot of 2 for 5 days. He was 2 for 5 this day.
Just that one. I don't think it was his Jonathan Scope bad acquisition.
No, that was like the dream. It was Eduardo Escobar. Like, go get him.
Yeah.
And then they went and got him. And then it was like, it didn't really.
Cooper Hummel was involved in that deal.
I was going to say what was that trade?
Cooper Hummel and the dude that was actually turned out to be a pretty good ball player. The Diamondbacks went to the Mariners.
Cooper Hummel and Alberto Ciprian. I don't think those guys turned out to be anything that crazy, did they?
I thought it was one other guy in there. Okay.
This is for the article from McCalvey on whenever it was. Regardless, one of my favorites, Omar Narvaez, was batting 5th and hit his 11th home run of the year in this game. Avi Garcia was playing as well. Tyrone Taylor was in the game. Rowdy Tellez. Is Rowdy still in the league? Did he just get cut? Did I?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, he was with Texas and Seattle last year, but I don't have a 2026 stat for him. Brewers coach now, Jace Peterson, or advisor, whatever he is, right?
Yeah. I think on the metal side of things, coach.
Lorenzo Cain was batting 9th, rounded things out. Corbin pitched in the game, had 4 at-bats. I think this was the last year pitchers could hit as well. So Corbin Burns was shoving in this game as he went 8 innings in this one, gave up just 4 hits. And Hobie Milner, now a Cub, closed it out.
In tonight's game.
Yeah. Jackie Bradley Jr. also had an appearance in this one.
JBJ.
Yeah, you liked him more, I think.
Savannah Banana.
I think he's like an Indianapolis clown or something, technically. He's
yes.
He plays banana ball, Tim. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
It's baseball.
It is, and the Brewers are on a roll here. They sweep the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, I got breaking news.
Shoot.
Pete Crow Armstrong signing with the Savannah Bananas.
Yes, and he'll be the guy with a megaphone.
Oh, that was good.
Outfield.
That was good. All right, sorry.
Pointed it right at women in the stands.
Oh, gosh, Tim, keep the gloves up.
All right, tomorrow an off day, and the Dodgers in town to fire up a homestand, a 3-game weekend series against the Dodgers. Tommy, you've got the leadoff show before Game 1.
Yeah, we'll be ready to go. Game 1 before the Dodgers series. Brewers didn't lose in the regular season to them last year.
No, they didn't. And after the game, Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. You guys have a great night. And for Tommy Wortz, my name is Tim Allen. I mean, you can't feel much better throughout the season thus far than this right here. A sweep over the Cubs. You get into first place after Game 2. And hopefully you're not looking back and you just run away with this thing. Okay, always remember, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.
you.